So far, it was largely the philosophers who studied human consciousness, but a serious effort to understand consciousness and walk the path towards ultimate reality was made at the MIT World Peace University in the form of the world's first conference on consciousness, the ultimate reality. Many eminent personalities, speakers, thinkers, and philosophers from all over the world share their thoughts on this subject during this conference. The chiefest and the keynote speaker of the inaugural session, the world renowned computer scientist and Vice Chancellor of Nalanda University, Padma Bhushan, Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, expressed the need for a serious attempt towards studying consciousness for the betterment of human life.
A big round of applause, my friends, as the School of Consciousness is unveiled at the hands of dignitaries Padma Bhushan, Honorable Dr. Vijay P. Bhatkar sir, revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karaj sir, Yogi Amarnath ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, and all the dignitaries. A beautiful, beautiful occasion. Thank you, dignitaries. Thank you very much.
Today is a great day for all the aspirants of knowledge, and we have taken on the table one of the great human quest to understand the nature of reality itself. In all the temples, in all the pursuits of knowledge, this has been the ultimate quest, as this conference is titled. This is the first World Conference on Consciousness, what is been termed consciousness itself is the ultimate reality, and we are going to dwell on this issue. Now, this issue, as we see, that is being discussed in such depth and in such extent that I wonder often that how is that this subject is surfacing the minds of some of the greatest thinkers, as you look at, as you contemplate, as you see the knowledge that is expressed through YouTubes and many seminars, many conferences that are taking place all over the world. I have been watching this subject for a very, very long time. I have been discussing with Professor Vishwanath Karaj and also Rahul Karaj. We have been discussing this issue for several years. That one issue that we need to take up in any university of substance, and that is the ultimate purpose of any university, is that what is the nature of reality itself. And this conference is the first conference taking place in this university on this subject. We have taken this question, this quest head-on. And the title is of this first conference that is taking place here is Conference on Consciousness, the Ultimate Reality. Several years have gone that we have been contemplating that if a subject like consciousness has to be studied, then we'll require in the university framework a very serious attempt in that direction. So how do you do that in the context of a university? In the context of a university, we create a new school. Generally, if you want to take a subject as a long-term endeavor of study, then we start thinking of a school, and that's precisely has happened after long contemplation and studies. And we begin generally with a world or with a conference, a serious international conference on this issue, where people who have been thinking on this issue, contemplating this issue, studying this issue for a very long time and deeply, come together to understand his perspectives, his different visions, and what we understand, his definitions, and to what extent we are going to cover this issue. So this conference is taking place, this inauguration is taking place in this context. We all know that. Next 2 days we are going to discuss this. And I am very happy to see that the sessions that have been planned, I think what Deepak has done, what under the guidance of Professor Karad and also me, this one, that what subjects must be taken up for discussion. And then we have planned about 6 sessions, about 50 papers. About 50 papers, 6 sessions, and one after another. When the list was made that who should be invited for this, and we wanted this to be international conference from all over, where people from all over the world could come or they could participate through virtual mode, which is one of the greatest gifts today possible, that we are able to communicate, arrange such conferences in a virtual mode. And that's what will happen here too, this one. There will be also the physical presentations, because you can't really replace in a virtual mode. You can or you cannot sometimes. So this will take place in the hybrid mode. And the world, some of the world's great thinkers, not all, it is our attempt to put together some of the greatest minds, but this has been our first attempt. And many people wanted to participate, but Professor Kandare, Dr. Ranade, under the guidance of Professor Karad and myself also, we thought that we'll have to limit in the participation, so some 50 to 60 participation were contemplated. Participants are going to dwell on this. But I'm very happy, I'm personally very happy that in India, this subject on consciousness is getting discussed in a university framework as we are defining our new or the national education policy or new national education policy. And I always wanted that when I was participating in framing the recommendations of the new education policies, I thought that that consciousness must come as a prime subject for discussion. Because you are starting from the highest knowledge. Contemplating on consciousness is contemplating on the highest knowledge what humans can endeavor to discuss. This is the subject which has been taken up for discussion in the earliest knowledge system that has emerged on this planet. That is the Vedic knowledge system. In the Vedic knowledge system, which spans across the 4 Vedas, 4 Upavedas, all the Upanishads, and the knowledge system which extends one of the largest and one of the most ancient system ever done, ever. It is in this context, in the context of that is taken as a reference, that if India has to introduce or the Bharat has to introduce this subject taken for this discussion, it must begin from there, the Vedic knowledge system. And that's what will happen here. It is here We are discussing the Vedic knowledge system as interpreted, as understood by some of the world's greatest thinkers. Also, some of our contemporary thinkers of the world, who have all of them, without almost exception, have taken reference to the Vedic knowledge system. Most ancient system of knowledge and most deep system on the knowledge. In a state of deep contemplation, the rishis have dwelt on this issue. The Vedas itself meaning the knowledge. So we have come here together to look at that. We'll also look at this in the current context of contemporary knowledge system that is emerging and trying to touch upon this issue. Today, if you look at many conferences that are taking place, many YouTube lectures that are available to us, many discussions, many debates that are occurring all over the world is on this subject. So, sir, this is very, very, very important. I think the history of this university, since you launched it several years back, that we have come now on to take up issue itself is a great, I think, not only endeavor, it's a very brave attempt to understand this issue.